Oh my goodness, this is so pretty here. So welcome back to the channels. This is Henry. I'm located at Chilliwack Lake today and working with BC Parks. The area supervisor Rob Wilson has become a good friend of mine actually, and over the years, and he's actually out on the boat right now just pulling in, and we're going to go look for one of these boundary markers that's lost. I guess a couple of years ago they had these things installed. There's 3 above water, and one of them obviously had slid down the slope. The problem is that we don't actually know where it is. It's either on that end, or right in the middle, one or the other. So I guess we'll swim the distance and find out. Oh, it's a little chilly out here, but man, this is just so pretty. Just absolutely lovely. All right, looking forward to seeing the boat in a minute here, and I'll show you the boat when he pulls in. And there's Rob and his lovely little park ranger boat. You can probably see there you go. Yeah, you can see that now. Park ranger. Just gonna bring it in nice and gentle. That's a nice thing about aluminum boats. Because there are 3 possible spots where this boundary marker could be, we decided to divide the dive up. So Karen was going to go to the side where we knew there was going to be possibility of trash and look for the boundary marker over there, and I was going to look in the other 2 spots. You can see here as I descend, it's actually very, very shallow shelf, and it goes out for quite a bit. And if you just kind of, I think I'm going to pan, so that's towards the beach, and then if I just pan left here, you'll see the slope drop off really quickly. Here we go, just on the left hand side there. Yeah, so I know what happened. Those guys that were installing the boundary markers, they essentially missed this ledge by literally probably 2 or 3 feet. And so this area that I just popped up is right in front of the boat ramp. That's sort of option 1 for myself to see where this could be. And you can see here the darker water on my left hand side is basically where the drop off is. Of course, I got to pick up some garbage as I'm going along here, a pair of sunglasses, a beer can here and there. You can see on my right here, this is the beach side. It's so shallow. And then on the left side, it's so dark. That's because it just slopes off so quickly. So what I'm doing is I'm just swimming along just the shoulder of this ridge line, because I kind of figure, okay, well, if it's sloughed off, and I don't really know how far it would have slid. I have no idea. But as I'm swimming along towards my second option, and sure enough, there it is. There's a boundary marker underwater. It was underwater by about maybe 15 feet or so, maybe around 20 feet. So you can see, essentially, I think what had happened, especially looking back on the video now, is they landed it probably right on the shoulder, and then just over the course of over a few months, those little sticks and branches, they kind of acted like rollers underneath, and the whole thing just slid off, just given enough time. Basically, all those branches acted like bearings. You see what I'm doing here is I'm actually trying to see if I can loosen up the shackle, and of course, the buoy that's on top, there's so much pressure on that chain, there's no way that I can actually undo it. But I was just checking to see if I could, and of course I couldn't. So checking the shackle at the top to see if that could be undone, and I could see that it was actually just pretty much rusted shut the same way. So here we go. I'm heading up to the surface to let the boat know that I found it.
It's right here. It's right here. I'm not sure if I want to try to get it out today. I tried moving the shackle and I couldn't. It's not a huge concrete block, but I think it's beyond. I have 2 lift bags with me. One is in the truck.
And here comes the park boat bringing the extra lift bag that I need, as well as the tow line that we're going to attempt to pull this thing out of the water.
It's there. Oh, yeah, I see it. It just slid off the shelf. So here's the plan. I'm going to see if I can take some weight off of it with my lift bags. I'm going to pass me the other one. How long is that rope? Can you tie just a figure 8 at the end of it, just on the loop? just so I can clip this carabiner to it.
You want the rope going?
Nope, I do not. Just leave that the way it is.
So here's the plan. I'm going to attach 2 of my lift bags to it. They're each 125-pound lifts, and I have no idea how much that concrete block is, plus the lift of the buoy. You can see here it's actually buoyant in the water. So I'm going to attach both lift bags and then attach the tow line to it and see what we can do. I literally had no idea if this is going to work or not, but I figured, hey, why not? This should work. So you can see here I'm taking my regulator, inflating the putting air into the first lift bag. Here's a second one, and again, each one of these things are 125-pound lift. Happy to work with this chain. Actually, lots of attachment points, which is a bit of a luxury for me. Sometimes we lift heavy items and we have nowhere to actually attach our lift bags. Second one, inflate, and it did not budge at this point here. But what was happening really was that the suction of the bottom of the surface tension, as it were, I guess, was holding this thing down.
Let's see who can take it towards the shoreline. I've got as much weight off it as I can. It's not going to float. There it is.
We originally planned to pull this towards the shoreline, but we realized we couldn't because the boat couldn't go that shallow. You can see there's the block kind of getting dragged along the bottom there. The lift bags were losing air because they all have leaks in them, so you can. So eventually, this thing kind of settled down to the bottom again. So we decided I should bring it to the boat launch and then just use the winch from the park truck. And there's the winch line that I set up, and see if we can pull it out of the lake using the truck winch. I literally had apprehensions about whether this will work or not because there's so much drag, like this concrete block getting dragged along the bottom there, and especially too, we got to get it over this lip. And but man, that winch did a good job. I'm kind of thinking I should go buy a winch for my truck, but there we are. This thing's now just dragging along the bottom here. Luckily, it's just all silt and sand and branches and such, so we're not doing too much damage to the ecosystem here.
Don't walk. It's so shallow. I'll just take the gear off. Okay. Stop! Stop, stop, stop. Let's destroy that rope if we can. Slack her off completely. I'm gonna grab an end here, Rob. We'll tip it over. Just 1, 2, 3.
Oh man, that was such a fun dive. Got all that crap, not all that crap, but Karen got the garbage. I got a couple of beer cans and then I recovered the float that I came here to look for. Let me get out of this and I'll show you. The park rangers are working on it right now. So this is the concrete block that the buoy is attached to. The little metal hoop is actually, they flipped it over, they were working on it. The chain is over here. The rangers are already disassembled. There's the chain right there, Rob. There we go. Oh, there's the chain. Hang on, there's the chain right there. There is the buoy right there. That's what it looks like when it's floating, but this one got dragged into the water. Anyway, there's the concrete block. They'll deal with it later, figure out how to put it back in the water, but there we go. We recovered it. That's pretty awesome. I'm just going to get out of the suit and then I'll show you the garbage that Karen got out. And here we go. There's a little bit of trash from the lake.
Some dink was drinking Bud Light Lime and just throwing them in the lake.
Watch out for the broken glass there. So there we go, 9.5 pounds of garbage pulled out of this beautiful lake with cooperation of the park rangers. Awesome. Thank you so much from BC Parks. Thank you, Rob. Appreciate you, buddy. And golf ball too. Thanks to my Patreon supporters. We'll see you guys in the next one.